Hello everybody and welcome to Lightning Ring Productions. My name is Lightning and today I'll be your guide into the world of entertainment, I guess. Today I'm going to be clearly reacting to the official trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie. I am excited. This trailer dropped yesterday and I didn't find out until later in the day. And I didn't record then because reasons, personal reasons. But I'm going to react to it today. I am excited because for those of you who do not remember, Shadow is going to be voiced by Keanu Reeves, and if my memory is correct, he played as Bill or Ted and Neo from The Matrix, and I believe was also in a movie that was in the first Sonic movie, Speed, and Sonic actually loved that it was Keanu.
Please, 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 please. Yes, Keanu! You are a national treasure.
When I find you.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
So, are they going to do some kind of meta joke in this movie about that at some point? That would be a good question. Like, they could easily like make a joke about how Shadow sounds like Keanu, and just glaze over it real quick, not make a big deal out of it. There are some other things I want to say real quick before I actually react to this trailer, because first of all, we don't know what we're getting into. I mean, the second Sonic movie was essentially Knuckles in Sonic 2. Because in the games, Knuckles doesn't appear until the third game. The second game was all about Sonic meeting... Well, not meeting, but it was all about Tails' big debut, the 7th Chaos Emerald, and Super Sonic. Sonic 2 is where the 7th Chaos Emerald was introduced, as well as Super Sonic and Tails. There was originally going to be the idea of Hidden Palace Zone being in Sonic 2, but that idea got scrapped at the last second. It was put back in later versions of the game, more recently. But Knuckles in the Master Emerald didn't appear until the third game, along with Angel Island, and we have yet to see Angel Island in the movies, assuming it will ever exist in the movies. So, we don't know what we're going to get with Sonic 3. We know we're at least getting Shadow, because it's essentially Sonic Adventure 2 in movie form, but just how much of it is going to be different? One thing that I am concerned about is that we may or may not get Rouge the Bat in this movie, which is dumb, because the reason I heard why Rouge might not be in the movie is because, oh, that might not be appropriate for the kids. Dude, grow up. If kids in early 2001 could handle Rouge's jiggle physics back then we can all handle them now. Rouge is a key part of the story. For those of you who do not know, in Sonic Adventure 2, Rouge is a government agent spy who basically teams up with Eggman to spy on him and relay information back to GUN, which was already established in the second movie. And Rouge is also the one who shows Shadow the information regarding the prototype to the ultimate life form, the Bio-Lizard. And she's also the one who finds Professor... Oh, no, not Rouge. That was Eggman who provided his grandfather's diary. My mistake. Almost messed up there. Caught myself, though. So, yeah, if they don't put Rouge in just because of the way she's designed, that would be super dumb. And I hope they don't water down her design if they do put her in the movie. Just put her in as is. Stop watering everything down to make everything super duper innocent. I mean, for crying out loud, we're gonna see Maria getting shot in this movie, supposedly. I know Maria is in this movie because they did announce who would be playing Maria on Twitter. And yes, we still call it Twitter here, folks. One of my friends said that instead of seeing her get shot, she might just die to her illness instead. Because, again, for those of you who don't know or remember, the whole reason why a teenage girl like Maria is on the space colony Ark in the first place is because she's sick. She has... I forget what it's actually called, but it's essentially an immunocompromised sort of situation. At least that's what I remember. Hopefully I'm correct on that. And part of the reason Shadow here, I'm pointing the wrong way, part of the reason Shadow here was created was not just to be the Sonic version of Captain America. he was also meant to be a way to help create a cure for Maria, as well as keep the world safe by essentially being Hedgehog Captain America. The Bio-Lizard was Professor Gerald's first attempt before meeting Black Doom, or at least one of his latest attempts, which obviously went wrong. I mean, the poor thing has life support equipment surgically implanted into it, and that's before he met Black Doom. After saying that, I literally just now realized, are we going to see Black Doom in this movie? That's another question. Are we going to see Black Doom? Because Black Doom gave Professor Gerald his blood in order to make Shadow. So it's very possible that we could potentially see Black Doom in this movie. Who else? Right. Amy. Amy was in the game and was the very one who reminded Shadow how he promised Maria to give everybody a chance to be happy. Essentially getting him to change his mind and help everybody save the world as the space colony arc was on a collision course with the planet. But in Sonic X, that role was filled by Chris Thorndike instead. And now that we have Tom and I think his girlfriend's name is Maddie, she could actually be the one to fulfill that role instead. And she could be the one who reminds Shadow about his promise to Maria. But we still very well could get Amy in this movie, just to get yet another surprise character, who would also fulfill her role that she fulfilled in the game. Also, in addition, Metal Sonic. People have been talking about the idea of Metal Sonic, and there has been a lot of art of Metal Sonic in the Sonic movie style. They basically took the style of movie Eggman's equipment, his Eggmobile, his hovercraft from the first movie, his Egg Pods, whatever you call them, and his Buzz Bombers, or Laser Hornets, whatever you call them, his Badniks, and made Metal Sonic in the same style. Now, after 2 of these movies, that could potentially be a thing. That Eggman is also making Metal Sonic. I don't know if we will get Metal Sonic in this movie, if Eggman in this movie already has Shadow under his belt. He may not make Metal Sonic, but maybe he might make Metal Sonic anyway for fear that Shadow will turn on him the way Knuckles has. You never know what you're going to get. So, that's the list of characters that I question if we'll see or not. Rouge, Amy, Metal Sonic, and Black Doom. There's a chance we could see any of these 4 characters. So, without further ado, let's start reacting to this video, shall we?
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
Or your heart.
Little grind on the log there.
There's been a high-level security breach.
Ooh.
We need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Shadow's story began a lot like yours, Sonic. But where you found family and friends, Shadow found only pain and loss.
All right.
That was
we got a
Gerald.
rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
Start with the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant fireball.
Sounds like a good idea.
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
Colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no! My turn. Can we just talk about this?
That was Chaos Control.
He's too powerful. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need you-know-who.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor,
We have visitors.
this is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
Let's do this! If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it! I need room.
But, sir, I don't have the proper materials.
Found some.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code! What did you do?
What I had to.
Welcome home, my boy.
It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it?
I am...
Are you? In the saggy flesh.
Okay. Holy crap. So, we're gonna have to rewatch this again and look at it scene by scene, because I not only saw a couple of things, but I heard a couple of things. I know we heard Live and Learn again in the background music, but I heard something else halfway through the trailer. So, let's just start this over and do it a little bit by bit, okay? Okay, Paramount. Can you stop starting off every trailer with a loud sound like that? That's a little jarring. Please, thank you.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Okay, that little scene with the log at the beginning.
Sonic,
It's clear that Sonic is racing Tails and Knuckles because we saw Tom and Maddie waving flags. That's what this is for, and it's a reference to the opening of Sonic CD.
you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
Ah, not Big Ben. Oh. Flaming Knuckle Fists. I really have to watch the Knuckles series, which I unfortunately have heard is kind of garbage. It more so focuses on the human character, the nobody who I can't even remember his name, instead of focusing on Knuckles, which should be the focus, like Knuckles adjusting to this world.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Okay, trying to go back
I know
here.
it hasn't always been easy.
Okay, I think this is Sonic's old cave. This could be a flashback to when Tom actually brought all of Sonic's items up into the attic, or they're going back for some things that were initially not there or something. I don't know. This is definitely a cave and not the attic because of the stone wall here. And I think that's kind of cute that we have a little drawing of Sonic with Long Claw on the loop-de-loop, which is where an extra life would normally be. I'm not going to read too deeply into that. I think it's just a cute drawing from Sonic's childhood.
But you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
Or your heart.
Okay. Of course, the stupid landscapers are outside. I apologize, folks. Does it have to be right outside my window? Hopefully I can be louder than the stupid landscapers. But yeah, thankfully I know how to do this. Sonic grinding up the fallen tree like that. Another nice little reference to Adventure 2, because that is where Sonic and Shadow started the whole grinding bit.
In my lungs.
Or your heart.
And I think I saw Knuckles there. Yep, there he is. Right there at the bottom. Prison
There's
Island.
been a high...
Also, that's Prison Island. That's tiny. If you look at how big Prison Island was in the games, it was a massive game, and Eggman blew that up in the game too.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Shadow's story began long.
Oh, he just used Chaos Control right then and there. I probably blinked the first time, and I blinked almost at the same time again.
It's far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Shadow's story began a lot.
Wait a minute. What did I see in the background there? Over here, what's this? I feel like this is a toy that references another Sega IP. I could be overthinking it, but I could swear to it. Also, I think that's Maddie over there in the red.
Story began a lot like your Sonic, but where you found family
Maria?
and friends. Shadow.
Oh, that was the flag waving scene. Yep, that's the race I was talking about.
Shadow found only pain and loss.
Okay, here we have Shadow, and I think that's Professor Gerald. Oh, I think they're looking down at Maria right there. Some shit clearly went down here.
All right, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
How much you want to bet that's Chaos Blast?
With the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant fireball.
Tokyo!
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no! My turn. Can we just talk about this?
Okay, I'll admit, that's a bit... It's a bit weird that the jets for his air shoes are blue, because for the longest time, the color of the jets to his air shoes has been orange. It's weird. This is kind of like the same thing as the color of Sonic's arms now being blue instead of, you know, the same peach color as his muzzle and belly patch and ears. Ears. It's definitely a little distracting.
He's too powerful.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, what was that rising out of the harbor in, I think it was London?
He's too powerful.
Oh, it's Green Hill. Okay, so... yeah, they got him skating. This. Is this supposed to be the Space Colony Arc? And yeah, that's definitely London. Just look at the buildings here. That's London Bridge right there. Also, is that the GUN logo on a building right there? I think you could see my mouse. Yeah, you can. If this is supposed to be the Space Colony Arc, again, why is it so small? They could have... why are they downscaling the size of things like Prison Island? Because that was clearly Prison Island in the earlier in the trailer. If this is supposed to be the Space Colony Arc, again, why is it so small? Or is it just a vessel to get up to the Space Colony Arc? Because, again, the whole thing about Sonic Adventure 2 is the Space Colony Arc is on a collision course with the planet. That causes everybody to team up in the first place, usually. Well, not usually, but at the end of SA2.
He's too powerful.
Okay, the fact that Tom here is clearly wearing a GUN outfit, does that mean he's just, like, an honorary member because he's, like, Sonic's caretaker? Or does he actually become a member of GUN. As a result of the last movie. A black hole? And... Wait, let's see if we can get the beginning of this. Those are plants. And they're chained up. So, this must be on board the Space Colony Ark, possibly. That's my guess.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need you-know-who.
Crab meat!
It's a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor! We have visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
What? Do this! If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it!
I like how he's got the,
Save it!
occupied, the Eggman Empire logo. Wait, what's the, Oh, it just says normal vacancy. Okay, let me go back a little bit, and... Yeah, we got the crab meat.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Okay, we got obvious, copious amounts of junk food, pizza boxes, styrofoam, like, he's got all kinds of junk food, explains the overweightness. I don't see anything on the monitor that would give away anything. They're probably doing that on purpose. Because remember, in the trailer for the first movie, they just had Sonic wearing his iconic red shoes throughout the entire movie. But obviously, in the scenes for the movie, he had the junk shoes.
Doctor!
What's on his shirt?
We have visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
I'm looking at the background right now.
Do this! If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it!
It's the same thing on all the screens.
I need room.
But, sir, I don't have the proper materials. Found some. When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code!
Hang on, I saw Chow. Chow Garden. It's a friggin' Chow-themed pizzeria. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's meets the Chow Garden. That's so cool. Does that mean we're gonna get to see actual Chow in this movie, or are they just gonna be shown as like this fictional thing within the movie universe? If so, that's gonna cheese me off so badly. And yes, that pun was on purpose. Oh wait, I just realized that is cheese. Look, bow tie and all.
What did you do?
They were clearly just... Sorry. They were clearly just chilling, by the way.
What did you do?
What I had to.
Welcome home, my boy.
It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it?
I am...
Are you? In the saggy flesh.
Okay. Oh, wow. So, question. When he says Pop Pop, does he mean father or grandfather? Because I'm under the assumption that this is Professor Gerald and not his father. If so, how is Professor Gerald still alive? And is that Jim Carrey playing Professor Gerald as well, or is somebody else playing Professor Gerald? Because I know with the Nutty Professor, Eddie Murphy played like the whole family for Sherman. So it's very possible that Jim Carrey could be doing both Robotnik and Gerald in this movie. I want to try to see if I can get a good look at... Oh yeah, his coat is all kinds of messed up. I don't know if that's just the patch job that Stone did, or if that's the result of this being like a good part way into the movie. Also, we have not seen any of the characters in the trailer that I mentioned. We didn't see Rouge or Amy. We didn't see Black Doom or Metal Sonic.
It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it?
Are you? In the saggy flesh.
Yeah, I definitely got to go see this movie. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that they're trying not to reveal too much in this trailer because, like I said, those screens, those monitors in Eggman's little lair, they all showed the same exact thing on all the screens. So that's probably done as an edit on purpose for the trailer to avoid showing anything that might give something away. Just like how they modified the trailer for the first movie to have Sonic wearing his iconic red sneakers throughout the entire trailer. When in the official final version of the movie, he has those ratty sneakers until near the end. So we don't know what pieces of this trailer are actually changed. Also, I could be imagining things, but they're making Maria look young in this movie. I could be mistaken, but I could have sworn that Maria was supposed to be a teenager and not a child. Or is this supposed to be like a young teenager? It's hard to tell. Also, isn't Maria supposed to be a blonde? Whatever. So yeah, we still very well could at least get Rouge, maybe even Amy in the movie. Because you never know what you're going to get. I am definitely going to see this movie. I'm very excited to see how it goes. I am going to be severely, severely disappointed if it turns out they did not even put Rouge in this movie, because she was like a major part of the game. And from what it looks like Sonic and Eggman are teaming up more halfway through the movie than rather at near the end, which I guess would be a way to write out Rouge. She wouldn't be necessary if that's the case. I don't see any hint of Rouge being in here. And then, yeah, if that's supposed to be the Space Colony arc, why is everything being shrunken down so much? Prison Island is small. The Space Colony arc is small. Why is everything so small in this movie? Oh. Never mind. Something's bigger. So yeah, we don't know what we're really going to get. This is just a trailer. They're obviously not going to give away too much. In fact, it's probably a good thing, because there are some trailers to movies or even video games that can give away too much. A good example is how Sonic Team showed us a bit more of the main theme to Sonic Frontiers, I'm Here. With Live and Learn, they teased the song just enough throughout the entirety of the game, and you only hear the full version with the lyrics during the final battle when Sonic and Shadow go super and stop the Space Colony arc. So they're probably holding their cards close to themselves, or however that phrase goes. They're being careful by trying not to show us too much, maybe. And yeah, I think this is Professor Gerald, being also played by Jim Carrey as well. If so, that means that more has changed than I initially thought. Because if you look at Sonic Adventure 2, they essentially assassinate... Well, maybe not assassinate is the right word, but they definitely kill off Professor Gerald. In the final story for Sonic Adventure 2, you see Professor Gerald's final words about how the space colony is going to collide with the Earth, and at the end you hear somebody in the background saying, "Is there anything else you want to say?" before saying, "Ready!" And apparently, according to the game's files, there is audio of gunshots being cut out, which means that Professor Gerald in the original game was killed off by a firing squad while he was chained or tied or whatever to a seat. And that's probably because they caught him doing whatever he was doing as a means of revenge towards his granddaughter's death. Maria got killed off. Okay, let me start from the beginning, folks. Professor Gerald, Dr. Eggman's grandfather, is obviously like one of the best scientists and was aboard the Space Colony Ark, a massive Death Star-sized space station in orbit above the planet. He was working on two main projects: the Ultimate Life Form, which was essentially Hedgehog Captain America, although it wasn't a hedgehog yet, and trying to cure his granddaughter Maria, who was sick with an illness that, I guess, compromised her immune system. Shadow was meant to be a 2-in-1 package deal, meant to kill two birds with one stone: cure Maria's illness and protect the planet. Professor Gerald had problems, which is why the Biolizard became a thing, a creature that's so deformed it has open wounds, missing back legs, and life support systems surgically implanted into it. It doesn't even have eyes. It has cameras in place of its eyes. Although I have seen a very cool take on the Biolizard that makes him look more like Vector. I'll put it up on screen. Whoever is the artist, props to the cool design. But yeah, the Biolizard just shows how much difficulty Professor Gerald had on his own until he made contact with the Black Comet, where he met Black Doom, the leader of the Black Arms alien race. And Black Doom provided Professor Gerald with a sample of his own blood to make Shadow in exchange for the 7 Chaos Emeralds when he returns in the next 50 years. So, Professor Gerald somehow found out that Black Doom wants to basically turn the human race into cattle, so he develops the Space Colony Ark's Eclipse Cannon, a cannon powerful enough to pierce the stars using the 7 Chaos Emeralds as its power source. Black Doom was going to get those Chaos Emeralds all right. But of course, somebody in the government found out about this big super weapon and thought it was malicious. So they sent a team of, like, government soldiers up on the Space Colony Ark and started killing everybody left and right that had a connection. And of course, Shadow, who was already created, took Maria and ran trying to find Professor Gerald. And they got cornered, Maria got shot, and that kicked off everything else. Both Shadow and Professor Gerald wanted to get revenge on everybody for killing off Maria, so Professor Gerald here decided to somehow reprogram the Space Colony Ark to go on a collision course with the planet. Instead of only taking out Black Doom, he's going to take out everybody in one fell swoop, possibly before he got actually arrested. Or afterwards, I don't know. The game's a bit unclear with that. Even Sonic X couldn't clear that up. And Shadow basically played right into that as well, because he wanted revenge too. He was close to Maria. And 50 years later down the road, it's supposed to be Eggman who infiltrates Prison Island, the big, massive island in Sonic Adventure 2, and awakens Shadow, releasing him from his cryogenic slumber. And then the entirety of Sonic Adventure 2 kicks off, where Sonic, for some reason, gets confused for Shadow because they look similar, or at least the Beto design of Shadow looked similar. And Sonic would be on the run from the cops while trying to stop Eggman yet again. And we all know how Sonic Adventure 2 plays out. So this obviously is very, very different. I can only wonder just how much we're going to be surprised with, because obviously the trailer's not going to be showing everything. There are going to be things that the trailer's not going to show. I mean, take a look at the surprise of Tails at the end of the first Sonic movie. We were kind of expecting it, but didn't know if we were going to get it. We definitely weren't expecting Knuckles to be in the Sonic sequel. At least not until the trailer. But we didn't know we were going to get Shadow. So it's very possible that we could still get other characters in this movie that we're just not seeing in the trailer. We could still potentially get Rouge, Amy, maybe even Black Doom. I doubt we're going to get Metal Sonic, though. If anything, at the very least, we might get a little cameo at the end of Sonic 3. At the very least, just like how we got cameos at the end of the last two movies. We got Tails at the end of Sonic 1. We got Shadow at the end of Sonic 2. So at the end of Sonic 3, we could... The fuck was that? We could very well get a cameo appearance for Rouge and/or Amy. Because there are more adventures that they could retell in the movie universe. Although, I don't know if Jim Carrey's going to continue to be Eggman or not, because he has said that, I think this is his last movie or last Sonic movie or whatever. We very well could get a different Eggman in the future, and that's assuming we get more movies. I'm assuming we'll get a fourth Sonic movie after this. I can only hope so. But yeah, that's the Sonic 3 trailer. Definitely a lot to think about. I'm fairly certain the Sonic show is going to see a lot more than I did. And come up with more than I did. But this is definitely exciting. I am really excited. I am going to see this the first week it releases. I am not waiting like I had to last time. The last Sonic 2, I had to wait to see that movie because we were still moving into this place, I think, at the time. So, yeah, I'm not waiting around this time. I'm going to see this movie, like, around Christmas time. The week of release. When did it say it was? Oh. Come on. When did it say? Yeah, December. Oh, okay, it only said December. It didn't say what day in September. So, yeah. I cannot wait to see this movie. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you had fun watching me react to this and speculating on what we might be able to see in this movie. If you have your own theories on what we might see in the movie, go ahead and put them down in the comments down below. If you like the video that much, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, such as more reactions like this, or be notified when I upload my next video for my Let's Play to Sonic Frontiers, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, but make sure you ring that bell. I gotta remember to ring this thing myself whenever I make that joke. Until next time, I am Lightning of Lightning Wing Productions, and I will see you all in the next video. Keep gaming, everybody.